From vineyards to river cruises.
It's a bit of a bummer. This is our busiest time.
Wildfire smoke chokes out a promising tourism weekend. Disbelief and disillusionment.
It was truly a punch to the gut.
EMS union slams hospital groundbreaking amid strike threat. And advocates await announcement.
We really need to get some ecotourism going.
Hope for concrete answers ahead of Monday's Ojiway National Park update.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. The smoke is still here and so are the consequences. As the haze hangs over Windsor-Essex for a second straight day, summer plans are being upended, businesses are pivoting, and organizers are hoping the weekend isn't a washout. CTV's Bob Belichico is down at the riverfront working on this story tonight. Bob.
Well, Stephanie, the streets are much busier today as people venture outdoors, but heading into the weekend, there are still cancellations going on as businesses continue to deal with the impact of the wildfires. A few more people on the patio Friday, but this one at Viewpoint Estate Winery hasn't been hopping since wildfire smoke blanketed the region.
This is our busiest time. July is usually some of our biggest sales, especially Saturdays. So for us, again, trying to pivot, just make it as easy as possible for people to still come out and still get their winery experience.
Heading into Saturday, management is pivoting as the smoke lingers.
This weekend, we're going to try to remove a bunch of the furniture and fit as many people in here as we can with more tables and chairs.
Wineries across southern Ontario are also pivoting and readjusting tours. Viewpoint General Manager Elora Fancy says one group canceled earlier this week, but people are inquiring about Saturday.
Yeah, we've gotten phone calls already about, I have a group of 24 that wants to come for a tasting. Do you have availability?
Macassa Bay has availability, but canceled 2 cruises Thursday and 1 Friday.
There's a lot of revenue miss. We do have a lot of, did get a lot of phone calls. We did reschedule most people. A lot of people were out of town and asked for refunds, which we did accommodate.
Poor air quality didn't stop the Detroit Princess the last couple of days. Macassa Bay resumed sailing Friday night with a sunset cruise under the hazy sky.
All cruises will be scheduled to run starting tomorrow. No more cancellations.
Some events have been canceled while others are still a go. Windsor's downtown market is one that is taking a pause for the weekend, which is inconvenient for some vendors.
For some vendors, it is. I would say it's not great to lose a main source of income for a whole weekend. We're a little bit more protected here because we have a fruit stand that's fairly busy on the weekends.
For some, the extra time off is welcomed. Dog Days of Summer was scheduled for the downtown market at the Plisha Street Garage, but is now on hold until August 1st.
My goal is to make it even bigger now that we have an extra 2 weeks and there was already so many promotions that had gone into it. Yeah. So maybe it'll be much bigger and better than what was supposed to be tomorrow.
While many of us are looking for relief, Environment Canada says that this bad air quality and smoke could persist into the weekend. So just a reminder to check your weather forecast and alerts. Stephanie?
Okay, Bob Belichico with our top story. And if you are heading outside while the smoke lingers, maybe you're hoping to pick up a mask.
As soon as we opened, we were getting crazy phone calls. Phones were ringing off the hook asking if we had masks, what kind of masks.
The mask section of the Tecumseh Home Hardware was full Thursday morning. The shelves were empty by the afternoon. The store has placed another order of masks, but they won't be shipped here for a few days. And it's not just this store. Many saying their masks are sold out. Also a big seller, furnace filters for AC units.
The girl that runs that department is filling it all day. She's been filling that section. So I think people want to make sure that the air in their house is clean. If they don't want to be outside and they want to stay inside, that they're stopping that from getting inside.
Essential during these smoky conditions. Meteorologist Gary Archibald joins us for a first look at the weather from the Weather Center tonight. Gary.
Good evening, Stephanie. Good evening, folks. So we're still in the smoke, the wildfire warning. Orange meaning high impact, right? High confidence that this will play out the next 24, perhaps 36 hours. It'll take us into the weekend, Saturday and part of Sunday. We could see some scattered showers as I speak. getting close to us. Maybe even some thunderstorm activity coming in from southern Michigan, headed due east towards extreme southwestern Ontario. The rains will help give us a good rinse. We'll talk a little bit more about the potential of the winds picking up to remove or displace the stagnant air-polluted atmosphere at the surface, which we need. We'll see if that comes to pass for the weekend. My forecast will detail it momentarily. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk. Stefanie?
And still ahead on the newscast, a special installment of our weekly Get Gardening segment with Gary and horticulturalist Sandy McDonald talking about the smoke. How does it impact our plants? And can we do anything to help them? And let us know how the lingering smoke or any of the other stories we cover has impacted you. You can text CTV News Windsor anytime at 10400. You can also send photos and videos. Now in other news, one of Windsor's most wanted is back behind bars. Windsor police say the OPP's repeat offender parole enforcement squad tracked down 26-year-old Raul Wazos in Wallaceburg. It's alleged he breached his court-ordered release conditions after being charged in a violent kidnapping and robbery case earlier this year. Wazo was previously charged in connection with the murder of Darian Moffat. He was killed in September of 2018. Last fall, Wazo pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit an assault. He was sentenced to time already served and released from custody. And a big drug seizure and a dramatic arrest by Windsor police. They say an 18-year-old suspect tried to drive away, hitting 2 police cruisers before he was taken into custody. Investigators say they recovered more than $150,000 in drugs and cash, including more than a kilo of cocaine. And officers say a road rage incident in Amherstburg took a violent turn yesterday morning. Police say after an exchange of hand gestures, a driver made a U-turn, damaged another vehicle, then allegedly punched the other driver before leaving the scene. A 22-year-old man later turned himself in. Another issue involving emergency services is drawing attention tonight. A frontline ambulance assigned to Thursday's Fancy Family Hospital groundbreaking is raising concerns from the union representing Essex Windsor paramedics. The union says the decision sent the wrong message as contract talks with the county continue. CTV's Sanjay Myra joins us now with the facts. Sanjay, what is the union's concerns?
Well, the union says paramedics are already working in a system under pressure. So seeing a frontline ambulance assigned to an event attended by the premier, municipal leaders and other dignitaries left many of its members frustrated. That event taking place here at the Chicharo Club yesterday. The county, however, says providing ambulance services to large events is standard practice and insists emergency response was never compromised.
Disappointment, discouragement, disenfranchisement. It was truly a punch to the gut.
That's how the head of the union representing Windsor Essex paramedics says members are feeling after a frontline ambulance was assigned to the Chicharo Club during Thursday's Fancy Family Hospital groundbreaking. The event, attended by Premier Doug Ford, local mayors, county councillors, and other dignitaries, was moved indoors because of an orange air quality warning. James Jovanovich says the ambulance would normally have been available for frontline service and argues assigning it to the event sent the wrong message to paramedics already dealing with high call volumes and staffing pressures.
Frequent code blacks. We haven't met our target response times in nearly a decade. And for them to pull a frontline ambulance out of service to go and cover an event filled with those elected officials that are specifically presiding over this teetering service was being cut with a dagger.
In a statement, the County of Essex says EMS routinely assigns ambulance coverage to special events where large numbers of people are gathered or where there's an elevated potential for a medical emergency. And although the event was originally planned to be held outdoors but was later moved inside, the ambulance remained part of the operational plan, adding, quote, "At no time did this assignment compromise Essex Windsor EMS's ability to respond to emergency calls, and the ambulance was not required to be redeployed during the event." The disagreement comes as about 340 paramedics remain without a contract, with wages, staffing, and burnout among the key issues. An essential services agreement is now in place if the dispute escalates, but there is no strike date.
We still are hopeful that we will reach a freely negotiated deal. However, any optimism for that is significantly decreased with each passing day.
The next tentative bargaining session is scheduled for August 5th. The county has previously said it remains committed to reaching a fair, sustainable, and negotiated agreement, while the union says it will be looking for meaningful progress when the two sides return to the table. Stefanie.
Okay, Sanjay Maru. Also tonight, the federal government is promising an update Monday on the proposed Ojiway National Urban Park. While Parks Canada isn't saying what will be announced, supporters are hoping it marks another major milestone for one of Canada's rarest ecosystems. CTV's Chris Campbell has been looking into this and joins us now with more. Chris.
Yes, Stefanie, this stretch of prairie tall grass and rare habitat has long been considered one of Canada's ecological treasures. On Monday, Windsor-Essex could learn what's next for the proposed Ojiway National Urban Park as the federal government prepares to announce what it's calling progress on the project.
The proposed Ojiway National Urban Park is already attracting visitors from outside the region. Toronto's Adrian Phillips took the train to Windsor specifically to experience Ojiway Park firsthand.
Oh, it's incredible. This is one of the rarest ecosystems definitely, I believe, globally. I think it'll be really cool to give it this significance because people don't seem to locally really know what they have here.
Representatives from Parks Canada will be in town Monday for an announcement related to the park, although they're tight-lipped on the specifics. But Ward 1 Councillor Fred Francis says he's optimistic after decades of work by residents, environmental groups, and governments at every level.
But I'm encouraged and I'm hopeful because you don't have an announcement to announce bad news. Hopefully some more addition of land to that park to secure it for generations to come. So really looking forward to what the announcement is.
Former Windsor West MP Brian Massey, who has spent years advocating for the project, says if additional lands are added, like those listed for sale to the west of the park, it would represent another important step toward completing the vision.
Any action to actually bring more land into this project is certainly significant and important because you don't get that back later on if it's bought. It really could also increase jobs, and of course the environment are significant here, and we really need to get some ecotourism going.
CTV News reached out to Parks Canada for additional details about Monday's announcement. Officials declined an interview and said they aren't able to answer questions ahead of the event.
When you look at the biodiversity of Ojiway in South Windsor, it's the most biodiverse area of the whole city. So if we're able to protect that, if we're able to add to that and secure more land and provide more environmental protection, it really does create our version of Central Park in the city of Windsor, not just for today, tomorrow, 5 years from now, but for the next 50 years.
Whatever is announced on Monday, many who have championed the project say protecting this unique landscape will have lasting benefits, not only for Windsor-Essex, but for wildlife and for future generations as well. Stefanie?
Okay, thank you, Chris. So here's our question of the day. Has all the waiting changed how you feel about the Ojiway National Urban Park? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked, have you or any members of your household experienced health symptoms related to wildfire smoke? More than 600 people voted, and it was a close one. 51% say no. Staying in Windsor's West End now, another major project is now sparking questions in Ottawa. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is pressing Prime Minister Mark Carney to release the Gordie Howe Bridge Agreement, saying it's been a week, and urging the government to let Canadians see what was negotiated away to the Americans. Under the original deal, Canada was to collect all toll revenue until it recovered the cost of building the bridge. But the terms of the new agreement still haven't made been fully made public, leaving questions about how toll revenue will now be shared between Canada and the U.S. The bridge is set to open on July 27th. Turning back now to the source of the smoke, our top story tonight. The wildfire emergency in our province continues to grow. Nearly 900 wildfires are burning across the country, with Northern Ontario among the hardest hit. Evacuation orders remain in place, while other communities are preparing to leave at a moment's notice. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
So we got our building supplies.
With a massive forest fire burning about 5 kilometers away, Sean Dufresne has packed up whatever he can into his truck and trailer.
This is only the stuff that we can move. There's still 2 permanent residents that's going to burn.
The community of Uppsala is about 150 kilometers northwest of Thunder Bay. There's no evacuation order here, but people are being told to leave before things get worse.
There are a bunch of communities that have been overrun, and we could be one of them.
Uppsala Fire Chief Doug Keesbring says they are doing what they can to protect the town.
We'll put one sprinkler system on the roof.
Getting sprinklers in place to protect properties like the fire hall. But the town's resources are limited. And with so many fires burning, the province's resources are being stretched as well.
They have limited resources for a massive demand this year. This is probably the fire season of a lifetime.
And while rain this morning brought some reprieve, it was not enough.
We're just good for a little while. We bought a little bit of time, but we have in no way won the war.
Communities across the country are fighting battles against fierce and fast-moving wildfires. Roughly 900 fires are burning across the country, forcing thousands of people from their homes. Well, officials have promised more resources to battle the fires and help those affected by them. Many here in the north say they're not seeing enough action.
We might not be in southern Ontario, but we are in northwestern Ontario. You're still in Ontario. Like, do you not deserve some rights or something?
You feel forgotten?
I feel forgotten.
Today, Ontario's premier said more than 150 firefighters and over 80 water bombers and helicopters have been deployed to fight these fires. But with more than 190 burning across the province, including 20 new ones today alone, this is an ever-changing situation they are trying to respond to. Heather Wright, CTV News, Uppsala, Ontario.
And the smoke isn't stopping at the border. From Detroit to Washington, millions of Americans are breathing the same hazy air, sparking political finger-pointing and frustration. CTV's Joy Malvin spoke with people living through it.
Millions of Americans woke up to this. Cities shrouded in smoke and haze from the wildfires. Chicago, Detroit, and Washington, 3 of the most polluted cities. You can barely see the capital. The air quality, a code purple. And that's not good.
It smells like a campfire. I've been in and out of a car just taking care of errands this morning, and my throat is already sore. And my eyes are itching.
I'm wearing the mask because the air quality is very low from the wildfires coming from Ontario and Canada.
It was only a matter of time before some Americans began to blame Canada for the unhealthy air. The U.S. president said he's holding Canada responsible, calling it willful negligence, and says he will add the cost of this pollution to the tariffs Canada is currently paying. Ohio's Republican Senator Bernie Moreno threatened to sanction Canada and the responsible Canadian government officials for this atrocity. The wildfire smoke so enraged 4 Michigan Republicans, they sent a scathing letter to the Prime Minister, claiming Canada hadn't managed its forests to prevent the fires. Ontario's premier is pushing back.
I truly believe the Americans are good neighbors. If there's some politicians out there chirping away, well, maybe what you should do rather than complain is send support.
And ask the experts. They say it's not who, but what is to blame.
Until we cut that fossil fuel use down to zero and start actually stop the warming and start the cooling, we will face this. So it's ridiculous to blame Canada.
For the U.S. states affected, some relief this weekend. Rain and thunderstorms are in the forecast, and that will help clear the air. Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
Back here at home, you'll want to check this out. If the beach is calling your name this weekend, the health unit is advising against swimming at 5 local beaches this week: Colchester, Holiday Beach, and Point Peely's Northwest Beach. If you are looking to cool off, your best bets are Cedar Island Beach and Seacliff Beach. Those are the only two getting the all clear this week. Still ahead on Windsor's News Leader, a pair of Premier Ford's cabinet ministers are out after expensing thousands for Toronto hotel stays. On Monday, Ottawa comes to Ojibway, the next chapter for the National Urban Park. That's Monday at 6 on CTV News. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Local Legion celebrating a century today. At Royal Canadian Legion Branch 255, members receive special centennial medals to mark the milestone. For 100 years, the Legion has been a place to honor veterans, share stories, and build a sense of community that continues today. But this milestone, however, comes as the organization sees fewer older veterans and declining membership. So many local branches are having to get creative to cover their costs and encourage younger members to join. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver tells us more.
In many areas of the country, the Legion is a community hub.
And you served with?
In Orleans, it's not just a place to eat and drink. It's a place to play cards and billiards, to learn to line dance, and even jam out.
It does have a real meaning. A meaning for people who can enjoy being here. And some come in because we got no place else to go.
The Legion has always been a safe space for veterans and their families, filled with specialized programs and supports. But in recent years, many branches struggling with declining memberships have started reaching further into the community, offering activities and events to make younger people and those who have never served feel more welcome.
We do want to attract those people because we want the organization to survive going forward. And it's all about remembrance.
The Royal Canadian Legion was officially founded in 1926 as a way to bring together veterans advocacy groups after the First World War. Today, there are more than 1,300 local branches that all support veterans, advocate for their rights, and ensure the act of remembrance continues. Today in Ottawa, that 100 years of service marked by a special ceremony at the National War Memorial, all about the importance of sacrifice and service.
It's very important to remember the past, and particularly when somebody's given their life so that we can have what we have, you know.
A mission of remembrance and a dedication to military and RCMP members that the Royal Canadian Legion pledges to prioritize over its next 100 years.
To support veterans is our main goal, and of course that's what we're most proud of.
Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
A pair of Premier Doug Ford's cabinet ministers have resigned, with one stepping down after it was revealed he charged taxpayers for Toronto hotel room stays despite living in the GTA. CTV Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris now with more on the departures.
Less than a week after a $16,000 hotel tab came to light, Stan Cho has resigned as Minister of Tourism, Culture and Gaming.
It's unacceptable. It's not tolerated. And Stan did the right thing.
The cost of hotel stays billed to taxpayers, even though Cho lives just 6 kilometers from Queen's Park. The allowance designed to help local MPPs in emergencies. In his resignation letter, Cho writes that he only claimed accommodation on nights the legislature sat late. And on late nights, he made a choice that was easier for him, not stopping to ask how it would look to someone working a double shift. Cho says he made a mistake and has repaid every cent. The opposition leader says it's not enough.
The people of Ontario demand answers, and I will say as well, he's not even the worst offender.
Public records show the parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Transportation racked up the biggest bill since 2023. Hardeep Grewal, who represents Brampton East, billed taxpayers for over $27,000. Nina Tangri from Mississauga Streetsville had almost 19 grand in hotel bills. And Charmaine Williams of Brampton Centre has been repaid close to $16,000.
They can all resign. It's not going to stop me from demanding answers from this premier, because you know what? The rot starts at the very top.
The premier wouldn't say if other ministers or parliamentary assistants should step down or if he'll overhaul all expenses.
We're changing that policy, and they know how upset I was, and we're going to move forward, and there has to be accountability, and we don't operate that way. That's not in our DNA.
The interim Liberal leader isn't sure that's the case.
It's a pattern of abuse of taxpayer dollars. But why are we surprised? The premier tried to buy himself a luxury private jet. There's a culture of entitlement in this government, and it starts with the premier.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
In Sarnia, fire crews had to rescue a person from a garbage truck this morning. They say around 6 o'clock, a person was sleeping inside a dumpster when it was emptied into the truck. The patient was injured and needed to be stabilized before firefighters removed them through the back of the vehicle. The person was taken to hospital for treatment. In the Middle East, the United States and Iran traded more fire this morning in what appears to be a return to a full-blown war. The U.S. military expanded its airstrike campaign against Iran, hitting more bridges. Iranian state media reporting at least 8 people were killed and 20 others were injured. The latest strikes are part of President Trump's threats to hit infrastructure, to pressure Tehran to ease its chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz. Iran also launched new missile attacks against U.S. allies in the Middle East, including Qatar, a key mediator in the war. On the markets today, the TSX lost 76 points. The Dow fell 407. The Nasdaq dropped 362. The Canadian dollar is up 1/10 cent. Gold gained almost $27 an ounce, and oil added $3.50 a barrel. Still to come, Taco Bell pulls lettuce across the U.S. as an investigation into a parasite outbreak grows.
Let's take a look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Cooper Lyon for sending in this great image. It really tells the story of just how bad the air quality is because of the wildfire smoke. We'll talk about whether or not this weekend's weather can help clear everything out. It's coming up next on CTV News Windsor.
A little clearer, but still very dangerous outside. Gary, let's talk about some much-needed rain.
Much-needed rain to help wash and rinse the surface from all of that smoke, the fine particulate matter. This map shown behind me, representing the watches and warnings. They're all warnings, in fact, and having to deal with wildfire smoke, rather. Pardon me. And unfortunately, it looks like the air quality is terrible right now through to at least Saturday and maybe into Sunday. Temperatures reach 30 degrees in Windsor, Essex, close to 29. In Chatham-Kent, the AQI on a scale of 1 to 10 is in the red zone. It's 10 plus, off the charts yet again. And expectedly so because of the wildfire smoke that's entrenched. We need the winds to pick up. The temperatures between 26 and 29 degrees, that's 79 to 84, Chatham-Kent towards Windsor, Essex, respectively, feeling like 32 to 36, respectively, Chatham-Kent towards Windsor, Essex. So it's a warm, humid day. It's been warmer. We are not in a heat warning, but it's above seasonal. The good news is there is rain coming, but it's likely at least the heaviest bands to be well to the north. What trails in behind it is rather light, except for Saturday afternoon. So we could see two pulses, one tomorrow morning and then one in the afternoon. And the one in the afternoon could, in fact, be responsible for some decent washing, if you will, rinsing. And the cold front could pick things up in terms of the winds, too. We need that. Stagnation is a big part of why we are dealing with terrible air quality. Look at these winds, 10 kilometers per hour or less, right? So not a lot of movement at the surface. Take a look at our Enercare Siles 7-day forecast. Smoke is an issue tomorrow. 60% chance of seeing showers, perhaps late in the morning, early afternoon, and then again towards the early evening. The sunshine and temperatures are interesting here, and we'll expect 30 degrees tomorrow, 26 on a sunny Sunday, 28 seasonal but sunny on Monday, showers Tuesday 27, then mid-20s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and fair weather. We're looking forward to that.
Now to the latest on the serious parasite outbreak impacting thousands of people stateside. With the FDA investigating a potential connection to popular food chain Taco Bell and iceberg lettuce produced by a major national supplier. Here's NBC correspondent Ann Thompson with the latest.
In the wake of a major outbreak connected to a parasite found in produce, Taco Bell moving quickly to remove the questionable lettuce from its menus, saying in a statement, the affected ingredient from our supplier is being indefinitely removed from our supply chain nationwide. It comes as NBC News has learned the FDA is investigating iceberg lettuce sold to Taco Bell by Taylor Farms as a potential source of the cyclosporiasis outbreak. Overnight, the FDA saying its traceback investigation has identified a single supplier of iceberg lettuce from Mexico that was used by Taco Bell locations. The foodborne illness can cause weeks of severe intestinal distress.
I felt like there was a lead ball in my stomach.
Jessica Murphy-Smith is one of more than 4,300 people in Michigan who've gotten sick. She says she ate bagged salads at least once a day and also had Taco Bell.
I realized about a week before I started feeling sick, I had a cheat day and I went to Taco Bell and had 2 tacos.
And there was lettuce on those tacos?
Yes.
So far, the lettuce has only been linked to 5 states, mostly in the Midwest. But it's believed nearly 7,000 people across 34 states have been sickened.
I don't think that the work is done, but that's why I call it the beginning of the end. Unfortunately, we'll see more cases as that all plays out. But hopefully, we're over the rough patch once we've identified the main source.
So far, there's been no official response from Taylor Farms. As for Taco Bell, it says it is taking precautionary action and is encouraging all relevant restaurants, retailers, and food service operators to do the same.
Breathing in wildfire smoke is bad for the lungs, but experts are raising concerns about the impact it can have on the brain. Researchers at the University of Calgary say tiny particles from smoke can slip into the bloodstream or get into the brain directly through the nose. When toxins reach the brain, they can cause inflammation, resulting in fogginess, lack of focus, and headache. Increased exposure to the particles can also cause long-term damage to brain cells, which can lead to cognitive decline. A hack sent parking customers to pornography. More than a month later, the system remains offline. The World Cup is winding down with just 2 matches left to play.
Messi. Oh, and England are in trouble. And maybe to Lautaro Martinez. They're going out in the semi-final stage.
Next up, England takes on France in the 3rd-place match on Saturday before all eyes turn to Sunday's final. Argentina is chasing back-to-back World Cup titles, while Spain hopes to lift the trophy for the first time since 2010.
Sandy McDonald joins us again for another edition of Get Gardening, a special edition as we are dealing with a continuation of extremely poor air quality due to the wildfires. Let's talk about the impacts first.
We haven't had a long enough stretch of this smoke to probably create serious problems. But in general, most of our plants won't really be reduced in size, suffer in size, and we expect that maybe we'll have a slight bit of rainfall that would rinse off any debris that's on them. I would say if we don't receive any rain at all, particularly in my vegetable garden, I would go in with a hose and give everything just a little bit of a rinse off. And we should be washing our vegetables when we bring them in anyway.
Talk to us a little bit about our farmers. What are they facing right now?
It's true. And so we grow a lot of beans and corn, soybeans and corn in our area. And corn is probably the one that would be reduced a bit in its growth. So it's been several days of these smoke-filled skies. Corn loves full, bright sunshine. The beans, probably a little less so, because they wouldn't mind this sort of diffused light. However, the beans would actually be more susceptible to some of the metabolites that occur when the smoke breaks down under oxygen and with UV light. And we get things such as sulfur dioxide and ozone, and beans could show some leaf symptoms of that.
What are our vineyards, our wine producers facing right now?
Absolutely. And they're facing, first of all, the issue of our past winter. It was very cold into the minus 20s. So some people are not having many flower buds, so they're not really having a very good crop. Some of the types, of course, will be fine. Right now, the fruit is quite small on grapes, so we wouldn't expect that issue of smoke taint or that smoky sort of taste that could occur. But later in the season, when the fruit is beginning to ripen, if we do have several days of smoke, day after day, that can actually get into the grapes and can taint the wines. So that could be a major economic disadvantage, particularly if you don't have a lot of the crop. You want whatever you do have a crop to come in and make beautiful wine.
All right, Sandy McDonald, thank you for that succinct synopsis about what we're dealing with, wildfire smoke. Join us again for another edition of Get Gardening next week.
It was a story out of southwestern Ontario that went viral across the country. A parking hack that sent drivers somewhere they never expected. Now, weeks later, there's still no fix. CTV's Jeff Pickle has the latest.
It was back in early June when the Elora paid parking system was taken down.
Yeah, so I touched it at first because I thought it was a touch screen, apparently.
A system hack had people scanning the QR code sent to a pornographic website.
So I thought it was a legitimate joke, so I scanned the QR code myself.
But over a month later, and nothing has changed, with the system still offline.
The day of the hack, the garbage bags were put up, and
the program charges a parking fee for those visiting Elora, while residents can park free. Today, those visiting the community happy to see the system offline.
My sister was parking. We looked for signage, but we didn't end up paying, which worked out.
We just noticed that the parking signs were covered where we wanted to park, so we just assumed that there was free parking.
Erica Montanero owns Blackbird Consignment on Metcalfe Street. She says there has been very little information shared from the township.
I believe that it was kind of implied by the township that it would be up and running soon. It's been over a month now. The communication hasn't really improved.
The township did not provide an interview, but say in the first month of the new paid parking system, they brought in over $144,000.
As a counselor, we're always looking for more revenue, and I'm looking forward to this coming back up and running as soon as possible.
Centre Wellington councillor Lisa McDonald says council has also been kept in the dark about why the system remains offline.
Councillors cannot get involved in operations with the township, so I cannot just say, hey, I would like an update right away. That's not how municipal government works.
Many of the tourists we spoke with say they don't mind the free parking, but local businesses say the lost revenue from that paid parking hurts the community.
If your reason for doing paid parking is because you want tourism to pay for tourism, this is not tourism paying for tourism, because it's the busiest tourism season and there is no revenue coming in.
Councillor McDonald says more answers are expected in a council report due the end of the month. Until then, the free parking continues. Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Elora.
Kate Otterbein joining me now. It's almost time to check in on what's happening now. So, Kate, what do you have for us tonight?
Yes, Premier Doug Ford is defending the wildfire budget as smoke moves through the province. Those details coming up.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Saturday, July the 25th, the Riverfront Big Picnic transforms Alexander Park into Windsor's ultimate summer gathering with inflatables, giant games, live music, face painting, and more. See you next time on Our Community.
Okay, you have a little more on the wildfire, sending all of this smoke our way.
Yes, and the Premier is defending the budget to fight those fires. Doug Ford says Ontario will spare no expense to keep people safe as more than 180 wildfires burn across the province. Speaking in Windsor, Ford pushed back against criticism his government underfunded this year's wildfire budget, while also saying Ottawa has been asked to stand by to help evacuate northern communities if needed.
As of this morning, more than 150 fire crews are on the ground. And in the last few days, the number of water bombers and helicopters deployed and operating has risen to over 80. And an additional 39 aircraft are ready to be deployed to the highest needs area. I want to acknowledge the incredible support we're already receiving from the governments of Alberta and the Yukon, who have crews on the ground in Ontario right now supporting our efforts.
We've got those details and more online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And after months of discussion, Kate, the central branch of the Windsor Public Library has finally found a new home.
Yes, it's a temporary one, but a home nonetheless. The library board has approved an interim move near City Hall. The branch is currently in the Paul Martin building downtown, but concerns with ongoing construction have been raised. The move is intended to give a more stable and secure environment while the search for a permanent home continues. And in our social spotlight tonight, we all know from the past 2 days how bad it is to breathe in the smoke, but it's not just humans who struggle. This poor pigeon in California, this was posted on social media by Oakland Fire. The bird came up to the crew at the scene of a vehicle fire, and they say it looked like it had suffered smoke inhalation. They gave it some oxygen and it flew away. Such a sweet moment, caught, and a smart move by the pigeon. And this actually made me look up pigeon intelligence, and believe it or not, they are very smart and have very complex cognitive abilities. A little fun fact for you.
Yeah, yesterday we were talking about our pets, you know, keeping them safe during, you know, these smoky conditions, but all animals.
For sure. Wildlife especially, and that was something we did discuss yesterday. It is recommended by the Humane Society here in town to leave some water out on the front porch for your animals.
Okay, and that's what's happening now. Thanks, Kate. Still to come, the most unusual passenger you'll ever see on a paddleboard. More clear out there, promising.
Yeah, I mean, it came in waves a little bit. The winds have been rather light, and that's led to stagnation. So, but pockets of breeziness have cleared some parts, but overall the air quality is still very poor. It's likely to be in the poor category, Stefanie, tomorrow. Could see some showers in the afternoon. That will help. A good rinse is always a good thing when we're dealing with air quality as such. Sunday, hazy, 26. Sunny on Monday, 28. And then some showers on Tuesday. We need that for growers and our lawns. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, mid-20s, slightly below seasonal, in fact, and fair weather. Anticipate by Tuesday, Wednesday, things seemingly back to at least acceptable levels in terms of air quality.
Okay, good to hear. Okay. Finally tonight, it wasn't the catch they were expecting, but it's one they'll never forget. A pair of paddle boarders fishing on a Texas lake spotted what they thought was a dog struggling in the water, only to discover it was a drowning raccoon. They pulled the animal aboard, where the soaked little stowaway calmed down, tucked itself under one of the paddlers to hide from the rain, and rowed all the way back to shore. When the board touched land, the raccoon hopped off and ran back into the wild. So interesting. It's so hard to get close to a raccoon, but then in a need like that,
yes,
it's so interesting how two species can come together.
They are intelligent animals. He recognized he was, or she was being rescued, and they can bite, of course. So that's an issue, but I don't mean to put a dull point on this, but they do carry rabies as well, and we don't want that. But good on them.
We're not reporting any bites that we know of, so
exactly.
a happy ending in this case, that's for sure.
Raccoons reunited.
Yes. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Michelle Molesky and Gary will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
We'll see you then.